breaking Jets news right before we signed on the air here, Joe. Russell Wilson, remember him? Russell Wilson, the Savannah Banana. He apparently today was at one Jets drive. He took a visit and met with the New York Jets. Zach Rosenblatt was the first reporter I saw to have the story. Quote, the Jets hosted Russell Wilson for a visit, and they are considering him as an option to be Geno Smith's number 2 QB, according to a source. Then Brian Costello from the New York Post, he followed up and reported that the Jets have been gauging the backup QB market since March. When they signed Geno Smith, they asked him about potential backups. He mentioned that he enjoyed working with Wilson in Seattle, and the Jets plan to revisit it after the draft. That led to a meeting last night. And then one more from Connor Hughes of SNY. On Russell Wilson and the Jets, nothing is imminent, I'm told, but there's plenty of mutual interest. One of the biggest proponents in the Jets building for getting Russ, Geno Smith. The Jets went to Geno about the idea, and he raved about Wilson's work ethic, what he meant, ... Let me get out in front of this. Under no circumstance should the New York Jets waste any time signing Russell Wilson. Anyone who watched him play last year, you saw a quarterback that can no longer play in the NFL. His best days have been behind him for years now, and last year he fell off a cliff. I want nothing to do with Russell Wilson unless you're telling me he's going to be a QB coach and he's going to assist Cade Klubnik one-on-one or something like that, or help Geno Smith in any capacity if he wants to get into coaching, which I know he's made over $200 million. I doubt, married to a supermodel, he's going to want to do that. I want nothing to do with Russell Wilson. Cade Klubnik right now is a better quarterback, I believe, than the version of Russ that we saw last year. So I am good on Russ. Nice guy. I wish him well. Former New York Yankee legend Russell Wilson. All the love to him. But I want nothing to do with Russell Wilson in the year 2026 on the New York Jets. I don't care if he's the third string quarterback. Don't need him. Don't want him. Sorry, Russ. No, thank you.
You know he's signing here, though, right? That's what's going to happen. Like it came out. Now he's meeting with the Jets. It's going to happen, unfortunately. And then we're going to have to do a Russell Wilson film breakdown, hopefully like deep into August or something, because I just don't want to do it. But yeah, like we saying before the stream started, like I'd rather have Josh Dobbs or Cooper Rush or whoever else it may be to be a backup. I'd personally just, ride it out with Klubnik at that point. But I understand it. Like they're trying to win games, right? They're trying to save their jobs. And, if Cooper Rush gives you the slight advantage over Klubnik for a game or two or whatever, if Geno goes down, I understand signing a vet quarterback, but with Russell Wilson, like all that he carries with him, right? It's just like it's a weird spot because stretching on the plane, people are trying to sleep. Obviously the added weight with the Savannah Banana is just a weird way he is. There was some rumors, I don't know if it's true or not, so correct me if I'm wrong, but like he had his own like office, I think with the Broncos or whatever it was. I heard rumors of, again, complete crap, but yeah, he just seems like a very large personality to be quarterback too. I'd rather get a guy who's a little bit more quiet, doesn't have all that attention. Like I think Dano said in here, like unlimited, like he's just so cheesy, dude. Like, and he sucks on top of it when you watch him play. So for the vet leadership type stuff, or like vet, in the room type stuff, yeah, sure, but everything else is not great with the personality, the added weight. He just didn't look great with the Giants last year when I saw him a few times. I'd really rather not, like you, but it's going to happen. He flew here. He met with them. It's leaking out now, which the Jets apparently didn't have leaks, but we all knew, or all the insiders knew, that Bailey was a pick 2 weeks before. So something leaked. So now this is happening. I think it's a very good shot of happening. I really don't want it to happen.
Well, I'll tell you what, he lives in the area, so I don't think he flew in or anything. Apparently, like he still lives around here. He's got young kids. So again, like I think they're doing their due diligence, which is fine. You can meet with Russell Wilson, but there's no point in signing him. Just bring back Tyrod or Cooper Rush if we're going to go down that path. Full disclosure, and some people might disagree with me, I don't see the need to get a legit backup quarterback. You took Klubnik in the 4th round. We're going to do the film review coming up here if you're watching this show live. Like, to me, you took Klubnik. At some point, you want to play him this year so you could get some sort of evaluation on him. Could he be a long-term backup? Could he actually show you something where, you have to reconsider what your plan is in 2027? Again, I doubt it, but that's on the list of possible outcomes here. So I'll throw that out. Like, what's the point in signing Russ? So if Geno gets hurt or is ineffective, we go to Russ? No, you skip the step at that point, and you want to see Klubnik play. Like, again, you start with Geno Smith. You hope he plays well. You hope Glenn and this staff could prove they know what they're doing. They can win games, be competitive, all that. We don't have to have the March for Arch conversation at the end of September this year, like what happened last year when we knew the Jets were going nowhere after the first month of the season. Like, you hope you win games. If it doesn't work out, Geno gets hurt, Geno doesn't play well, you're going to go to Klubnik. I want to find out what he is. I want to give him a chance to play. And if I'm losing, okay, fine. Glenn won't be here. I'm going to have a new coach, 3 1s, most cap space in the league, a roster that's not bereft of talent, and we go from there. There's no point in Russell Wilson. He's not good. He does nothing for you. And he's a distraction because he's Russell Wilson. You put up with all the other stuff when he's winning you Super Bowls, when he's playing great. He hasn't been that guy in years. The Giants couldn't wait to bench him after they guaranteed him $15 million. I had to watch every snap of every Giants game because it's my job with ESPN New York to follow both teams, not just one crummy football team, the other crummy football team. Russell Wilson is shot. And I'm not trying to fat shame here, but when I first saw this video from Russell Wilson at the Savannah Bananas event at Yankee Stadium over the weekend, I thought this was AI. This is what he looked like. He looked enormous. Enormous. It looked like Beast Breaker was batting here. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I thought this was AI. This is apparently real.
Little do you know, Jake, they're signing him to play fullback.
I mean, now it makes sense.
Yeah. It's again, with the personality and all he brings and how weird and kind of how cheesy and weird he is, and don't mean to, I guess, personality shame like you're fat shaming. Even though, like, listen, dude, he's an NFL athlete. You kind of want him to be in shape. Like, I don't really care. It's just like you're allowed to do that when you're talking about professional athletes. Didn't look the most fleet of foot there either, but. Yeah, I'd rather Dobbs or whoever else. And I think the important point is, like, we don't necessarily care about them having a backup because we want to see Klubnik. And I think they should want to see Klubnik, obviously, to a certain extent as well. But if, them fighting for their jobs, if they think Cooper Rush or Tyrod or whatever is going to win them an extra game or two, then Klubnik would, then I understand them signing a vet quarterback, right? So I get it. Even though I don't prefer it, and I specifically do not prefer, Russell Wilson and Sierra and all the videos and, whatever he's going to say, jet up or whatever cheesy saying he's going to do in his first press conference. But I do have a bad feeling that he will be signed. Then hopefully he hits the treadmill.
Oh, good God, man. Again, I'm not trying to fat shame. I actually like Russell Wilson as a human being. He does a ton of great things for kids that have been in the hospital with terminal illness. Like, again, I'm not trying to dog on Russell Wilson. I'm dogging on this version of a player he is at this stage of his career. He should retire, man. He's not the guy. He hasn't been a guy in a long time. And honestly, go look at Bailey Zappi's numbers, people. He's better than Russell Wilson at this stage. Bailey Zappi has at least started games in the league. He's 4-5 in his career. He's had some moments where he hasn't looked terrible. I texted one of my good friends who, sorry, Jet fans, he's a diehard Patriot fan. But he's fair about the analysis of his team. And I asked him, hey, when Zappi played for the Pats, what did you think of him as a backup? And he texted me, my recollection of him is that he had like 2 really good games with the Pats, but mostly was below average. He definitely shows flashes, but has mostly been a practice squad guy since leaving the Pats. I think he could be a serviceable backup. Again, Zappi, Klubnik compete for QB2. It's heavily going to be rigged for Klubnik to win that job after Reich got the Jets to trade up in the 4th to take him. And let's go from there with that being the quarterback room. There's no point to Russell Wilson or Tyrod or Cooper Rush. The room should be Geno. The room should be Klubnik and Bailey Zappi. Bailey Zappi could do everything that Russell Wilson could potentially do.
Yeah, like I said, I'm okay with that too. Take that few $1 million that you'd sign Russell Wilson for and get me a linebacker, interior, offensive lineman, whatever it may be. But you don't have to fat shame. I will. I don't want my quarterback looking like that, dude. I don't care. Like, you ever see like Mac Jones looks like a bag of milk. CJ Stroud, dude. So he looks so unathletic. When you ever see the video of him? It's like Parsons wrestling with a sumo wrestler and Stroud is there. I'm like, you're an NFL athlete. This is how you take care of yourself. It's just weird. So yeah, Russell Wilson looking like he does. I'll shame him. It is what it is. You're an NFL athlete. You're getting millions of dollars a year. You're going to be judged like that. It just is what it is. So yeah, I'd rather Zappi. I'd rather, again, if you're not comfortable with Zappi, they don't like Zappi. He's not taken to the offense. Frank Reich doesn't like him. Whatever it may be. There's plenty of guys out there you could sign who would be just as good, if not better than Russell Wilson, and would make much less noise in the media too. Because, Geno Smith struggles a game or 2, 3, whatever it is, obviously talking about Russell Wilson is going to create some headlines. Like, he has some weight to his name. So then there's going to be calls to start Russell Wilson and to deal with Russell Wilson versus Geno Smith drama. And then, I don't know, maybe it's a repeat of 2015. Geno Smith gets punched out by Darrell Jackson, and then Russell Wilson leads us to 31 touchdowns. And, we just can't see it coming. I don't know. But yeah, I don't prefer it. But with it leaking now that him meeting the Jets, and I know you said he didn't fly there, but I just think it's going to happen, right? Like if they're meeting with him, I'm sure he's smart and he's impressive on the whiteboard and all that stuff. And they'll end up signing him, and they'll do a film breakdown in 3 months.
I mean, look, they could be with other quarterbacks too, but clearly they wanted this to get out there to kind of do like a temperature read of the room. Like, oh, like how's the fan base going to react if we signed Russell Wilson? And again, he's not a bad guy. He's corny. He's cheesy. I get all that. He's just not good at football. There's just no need to add Russell Wilson to this room. This is like when the Jets brought in Michael Vick in that awful 2014 season. Like, we don't need this. We're good.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Mike Vick admits to not being ready to come into the game. It's like, you're the backup quarterback. You're not ready to come into the game. It's just that was a wild one. That was 2014, right?
Yep. But now let's bring in Mr. Unlimited.
Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited.
I'm good, man. And you're so right. He did the Broncos country. Let's ride. Jet up or whatever corny thing he'll come up with now. I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't need to do the Russ thing. I'm fine with it. Let's move on.
Yeah, he'll really ruin the vibe. And I don't like the draft as much as some other people do. I do like it, but it'll kind of ruin the vibe a little bit. Everybody's kind of happy right now, but Russell Wilson signs, and I think Jets, not that it matters, right, all that much. Hopefully it doesn't play at all, but I just don't vibe with him, man. It's just, and obviously I haven't met him and stuff, but that video, it's just not for me.
Veteran Jet fan wrote in, Russell Wilson did throw for 450 and 3 scores against Dallas last year. That was his only good game. My grandmother could have thrown for 503 scores against the Cowboys defense. They might have been the only defense worse than the Jets defense last year.
Just not the Jets. The Jets can't do it, but you can. Yeah. They were probably bottom 3, right? It was probably us, the Bengals, and the Cowboys.
Dude, he had that big game, and then the next week the Giants played Sunday night against Mahomes and the Chiefs, and he was so awful that Dable immediately, a week after, he threw for 450 yards. A week after that, he went right to Jackson Dart and pulled the plug on Russell Wilson. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Again, praying it's not happening, but I'm like, gun in my head right now. It's like 80, 85, 90% shot. It happens. It's just, you can feel it. You can feel it. You can feel it coming. You can feel it. It is what it is.
Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited.
God, just please.
He will add to your drop game at least, and there will be topics. So look at the positive side.
Oh yeah, ton of positives. Hey, speaking of positives, as Maniac Madness, the Final Four is coming up in just a little bit. Big Fella and Chef Kevin head to head for a spot in the championship round. That will be on Friday. Tomorrow we'll have our other Final Four showdown, the other half of the bracket. The 1 seeds meet in the Final Four. Gary 3D Boxing and Charles Gorman. So we'll get to that coming up. All right. Programming note before we get to some film on Mr. Cade Klubnik. We are raffling away at the end of this stream a signed helmet by Darrelle Revis. If you want to enter, you have to gift a membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. Here are the new set of Asmaniac raffle prizes following a mega raffle that we did yesterday. Shout out to everyone who supported our big time raffles over draft weekend, but I'm not leaving you hanging. I got 4 prizes so far, folks. Signed Joe Klecko Hall of Fame inscription football prize 1. Signed Vinny Testaverde jersey prize 2. Signed Garrett Wilson jersey plaque prize 3. Prize 4, a signed Braylon Allen jersey. And I just added this, a signed Russell Wilson Savannah Bananas jersey. Yeah. Just kidding. But the first 4 prizes are actually legit, and a Revis sign helmet up for grabs at the end of this stream. Let me get to C Natty, who became a channel member. Thank you, C Natty. You're the first to be entered in the raffle this afternoon. Ted Ruggiero in the raffle for 2. He says, I would rather have Wilson from Castaway. Yeah, I'll take Wilson from Castaway. We'll get Tom Hanks in here too. Why not? Give him a spot on the coaching staff. I'll take that over Russell Wilson. I'd rather Zach Wilson come back than Russell Wilson. Honestly.
Yeah. At least there's potential there. Like I said, it's gonna happen. Just take it. Take your pill now. And again, we'll be watching him and guessing.
I take it back
in a few months. It's gonna happen.
I don't want Zach back. I'd rather Russ than Zach. I'd take it back. I had to think about that one.
Yeah,
I went too far there.
You said that. I was like, that's why I didn't know how to respond. I'm like, maybe not though.
Yeah, no, I would take Russ. At least we get to look at Sierra. She'll be, out and about doing stuff with Russ. With some good photos
on the practice field and whatever else. And it's hot in the summer, and you know what hot leads to. And so gonna get too pervy here, but yeah, that'll at least be the benefit of that. Sierra is a friend of ours.
Mike checking in. Did I read this one? I don't know if I did. Signing Wilson, such a Jet thing to do. Well, yeah, he's right. It would be very like I hope they don't do it. I mean, Muji was in Denver. He knows what Russell Wilson is at this stage of his career. They're not. Joe, I disagree with you. I don't think they're going to sign him.
Okay. Hey,
we're going to find out.
Just wait until it happens. I'm texting you, so it's gonna.
Yeah,
it's gonna
please
happen.
do. No, I'm going to try and manifest greatness. Look, I'm not overly confident in this person's reporting, but Diana Rossini just wrote in Jets view Klubnik as QB2 on the roster, not signing anyone else.
How'd she get those sources?
Look, she has her ways. All right, she's very plugged in.
There you go. Nice, good one. I like it.
Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You gotta have a thought process of being unlimited.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the f*** out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.